Welcome back, everyone, to the deep dive. We've got all the research pulled together, and we're ready to jump right in.
Yep, ready to go.
Today, we're looking at a really unique machine from Mobile Suit Gundam SEED. It's the GAT-X252 Forbidden Gundam.
That's right. And it comes out of a really critical time in the Bloody Valentine War, the Earth Alliance. They needed something new.
They were trying to catch up with ZAFT, weren't they, with their mobile suits and those coordinator pilots?
Exactly. So this was the second generation GAT-X project. The Forbidden was part of this new trio, along with the Calamity and the Reader Gundams.
Okay, so looking at the notes here, the Forbidden wasn't just like a slightly better version of an older suit. It had a specific job.
Yeah, definitely. The whole concept was for it to be a prototype, built for high-speed assault, getting in close, maybe infiltration too.
So fast attack, close combat optimized. The Atlantic Federation really wanted something disruptive.
That seems to be the idea. Get in quick, cause chaos. And it had a pretty unique tech to make that happen. What really jumps out?
Well, the armor system, for one. Trans-phase armor. TP armor.
Yes. It's described as an upgrade from phase shift armor, you know, the kind the Strike had, where the whole suit lights up and resists physical hits.
Right, until it runs out of juice. So how is TP armor different?
Well, the key difference is it only activates on impact. So when something actually hits it hard enough to get through the outer layer.
Ah, okay. So it's not constantly draining power. That means way longer operational time.
Exactly, big energy savings. And you don't get that obvious color shift telling everyone your fancy shields are up.
Smart. Okay, what else was special? There was another big defensive system, wasn't there?
The Geschmeidig Panzer. It translates roughly to flexible armor from German. It's those big shields on its back.
Right, the ones that move around. What did they do?
They used a special colloid gas held in place with magnetic fields inside the shields. And the whole point was to deflect beam attacks.
Wait, deflect beams? So most beam weapons just bounce off.
Pretty much. It makes it incredibly tough to fight head-on with standard beam rifles or cannons. A huge advantage.
Wow. And there was something else about that system, too. An unexpected bonus.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. The sources say that deflection tech, it also worked really well underwater, like for propulsion.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, and that actually led to them developing variants later.
Right.
Like the Forbidden Blue, specifically for underwater stuff.
Huh. Accidental innovation. Okay, let's talk offense. Because that was tied into its transformation, right?
It was. The Forbidden could shift into this high-speed assault form. Basically, the whole backpack folds over its head.
Doesn't just look cool, though. It positions its main weapons.
Exactly. That's when it could fire the Exxon railguns, and the big one, the Hresvelgr plasma induction cannon.
But there's a trick to it, isn't there? Something about bending shots.
This is where it gets really wild. The Exxon railguns, the ones on the sides of the backpack, they could generate a magnetic field between them.
Okay. Why?
To bend the plasma beam from the Hresvelgr after it was fired.
You're kidding. So it fires this massive plasma blast and then curves it.
Yep. Makes it incredibly hard to dodge. Just imagine facing that.
Terrifying. Okay.
Yeah.
Did it have anything else? Melee?
It did, yeah. It carried a Nidhogg heavy scythe. For that close combat role it was designed for. Oh, and it also had head Vulcans, the Eagle-Stelling CIWS.
Right, the little anti-missile guns.
Which was actually unique among that second-gen GAT-X trio, according to the notes.
So with all this advanced kind of weird tech, the pilot must have been crucial. Who's flying this thing? Shani Andras.
Shani Andras. He was designated a biological CPU, or sometimes called an extended, basically a natural human who'd been enhanced.
Artificially enhanced. The sources mention a secret program, pretty grim stuff, forced drugs, conditioning, implants.
It sounds brutal. They were essentially treated as components, tools built for war. The Alliance was desperate for pilots who could match coordinators.
And the irony there, groups like Blue Cosmos, totally against genetic modification for coordinators, were okay with this kind of invasive modification on naturals.
Deeply ironic, yeah. And it clearly affected Shani. Described as antisocial, always listening to music, skilled, but unstable, prone to rage.
Which must have impacted how he used such a complex suit.
You'd have to think so. And its operational history kind of reflects that. It showed up at Orb, then got assigned to the battleship Dominion.
Under Maruta Azrael, the Blue Cosmos leader. So these suits ended up with the extremists.
Seems that way. But despite all its power, how did it end?
Right, at the second Battle of Jachin, it gets destroyed.
By Isaac Jewell in the Duel Gundam, an older GAT-X model.
Which really says something, doesn't it? Pilot skill, maybe being less impulsive than Shani, could overcome the tech advantage?
A recurring theme, really. There are
Yeah.
a couple of little oddities mentioned, too, like set X252 on its head, maybe meaning 7th GAT-X unit.
Possibly. And the backpack's look reminded some people of mechs from Gundam X.
Interesting tidbits. So when you look at the Forbidden Gundam, why should you, our listener, find it compelling? It's more than just specs, right?
Absolutely. It really pulls together so many themes from SEED, the crazy arms race, the ethical shortcuts taken in war, the human cost. Shani's story tied to this machine is just tragic.
Yeah, it's this mix of incredible, almost sci-fi technology like beam deflection and bending plasma, paired with this really dark, ethically dubious program to create its pilot.
It really forces you to think about that pursuit of military power. What does it cost, not just in resources, but in humanity itself when you push technology and people to such extremes?
It's a powerful machine, a powerful story, and definitely something to mull over. How far is too far for that tactical edge?